Excuse me, good morning, hi.
Good morning.
You know where I can find Bullberry Road?
I really don't know anywhere around here, you know.
I
kind of just moved in, but if you want, I could ask my uncle.
Oh, it's alright then. I'll just ask somebody else. I don't want to be late. Excuse me. Good morning. Hi.
Morning, miss.
I don't know. Seems I'm at the wrong place. I'm looking for 28 Bullberry Road.
Yes.
Yes, what?
This is the place, miss.
What do you mean? I'm late for a job interview and I don't know.
Well, I'm late to miss.
Oh, that's early morning, yeah, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must be at the wrong place.
Oh, you come for the job interview, eh?
Yes, the one for the masseuse.
Come on, that's good, you'll do. Come in. Frankie! Frankie! My business partner, Frankie.
Good morning. You're here for the interview?
Yes.
Don't worry. We used to do these things at our establishment, but we got so many girls who didn't know what they were doing.
We just want to make sure everything turn up. You see me? Yeah.
Okay, well, I worked at a spa before. I even brought my certification. So the ad wasn't specific about what you wanted.
So show us what you can do then. Pretend we're your clients.
All right, so do you have a massage table or...
It's not that kind of massage table. Get in here!
The International Labour Organization estimates that about 20 million persons are trafficked annually across the globe. Of that, about 2 million are trafficked within the Caribbean and Latin America, the majority of whom are trafficked for the purposes of sexual exploitation. I am Francesca Tavares, and I believe that young lives matter. The film that you just watched on human trafficking may have been fictional, but it is real for someone, somewhere in Jamaica right now.
First of all, human trafficking is a criminal activity. So we have our local legislation that deals with the prosecution of all forms and types of human trafficking.
Diane Gorin Harrison is the children's advocate and national rapporteur on trafficking in persons. She ensures that human trafficking remains at the forefront of the national agenda.
What we do know is that human trafficking belongs to the family of transnational organized crime. It's always underreporting. It's clandestine, it's nefarious, but above all, very lucrative.
Deputy Superintendent Carl Berry is the head of the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit, the arm of the Jamaica Constabulary Force that apprehends offenders and rescues victims of human trafficking.
We have been called about situations where, for example, we have a young girl that we have been assisting for the last 3 years.
Christina Milford is the director of the Pregnancy Resource Center of Jamaica, which operates a place of safety for girls who have been victims of human trafficking and other crisis situations.
But in her situation, we knew that if she didn't get help, some man would come along, you sweet girl, you couldn't be sitting at home, let's help you. No strings attached, we'll just do this. And then in about 2 or 3 years, she'd be owned and she'd have to do whatever he required. We know this because we have seen it happening in other girls' lives.
Human trafficking is the recruiting, receiving, transporting, transferring or harboring of a person for the purpose of exploitation using specific unlawful means, such as abduction or fraud. But do many people really know what human trafficking is?
Well, I actually think human trafficking is the unlawful or illegal abduction of persons, whether male or female, from whichever age group, because there's really no limit. But usually the young ones are targeted, so I think it's the illegal abduction of individuals for whether it's like a sex trade, drug trade, or illegal work.
Human trafficking is the exploitation of human beings for the exchange of sexual activities, labor activities, or drug trade.
Human trafficking is basically, boy, I mean, it's just I say that in Jamaica, that people end up in a situation where get lead astray and some of them will get take away.
Every year, Jamaica is ranked in its efforts to combat human trafficking. In 2005, Jamaica moved from Tier 3, the lowest rank, to Tier 2. However, since then, our ranking has remained the same, meaning that, as a country, we still do not meet the minimum requirements to address human trafficking, despite significant improvements in recent years.
We also have to realize that there are those who will target our children. There are predators whose only job is to stand and seek out, look for the weak one.
This is Marissa. She was trafficked when she was 11. Now 18, she has decided to share parts of her story on camera in the hope that it will help others.
When I was 12 years old, I was living with my mom and my siblings. And my mom used to leave me, go out for 2-3 weeks, did not come back home. Well, when my mom is not there, my neighbor come over my house, and when he give me money, he wants something in return, that means sex. So I give it to him in order to get the money to look after my family. When my mommy came back, my next door neighbor used to give her money, and I used to have sex with him, which I didn't know that was human trafficking until I reached the facility that I am in right now.
Marissa did not want to share her entire story on camera. At age 11, she was harbored at a rural location and prevented from attending school regularly. She was transferred frequently to several persons in the parish by her mother and associates for sexual exploitation. At age 12, Marissa became pregnant and was placed in protective care by the CDA.
The target population in terms of victims are among children and youth, properly defined. There are some victims who don't even recognize that they are victims.
Anika, hurry and get all the things out of the car, no man. Me I get late for work and money I have to make. Come on.
Someone wants your directions.
Directions? To go where?
Bullberry Road, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. She will find our way. No problem. Come, just get the things and come inside, all right?
How much longer?
Excuse me?
How much longer before I go to school?
Listen, Anika, I told you very soon. All right, I just need to make a little bit more money, and then.
And then what? I'm gonna talk to my mother. You take home my phone. You take home my birth certificate, my passport, my driver's license, everything. What more you want?
Hey, all right. Listen, man, listen. Calm down. Me never take you in my house for hear this nagging every single day. Okay? If this can't agree with you, you can find yourself back a bush. Anika. You remember Daddy Blacks? So he was telling me that there is something that you could actually do to help bring in some more money.
Daddy,
Yeah.
Daddy's a pimp. Him a pimp. So you mean for
No,
tell me
hold
say you really-
on. Listen, man, listen. It's either you do this or you go on back a country. Money are money. And besides, no, you say you want to go to school. Anika, it's just a little sex.
Globally, women and children remain the number one victims, and Jamaica holds true to that. And so we have women and children being the most predominant target group. And of course, if you're to break it down further, you'll find that amongst the child population, it is girls who are disproportionately represented. If it's domestic servitude, it's a girl, for example, who has come to Kingston to live with a relative who is to give her opportunities, but she never sees those opportunities and becoming a virtual slave. If it's sexual exploitation, again, predominantly, it's the girls who will be in the massage parlors, who will be dancing, and who will be offering sexual favors to men.
Daddy.
How things, Daddy? Yeah, boss. Have your thing here. We get a new girl today, you know.
Is everything this?
Everything that.
You sure?
Dead sure.
You know, wow, what happened last week happened again, you know.
Nah, man, everything good, man. Is it that? Yeah, man.
Lean off me car, man.
Sorry, boss.
Alright. See you next week.
Yes, boss. Next time. Yeah, man.
We want to educate people to realize that this crime is huge. It's massive. 150 billion US dollars on an annualized basis every year. It is lucrative, as mentioned before, so it must not be taken lightly. Big component part of human trafficking is recruiting, trying to get the vulnerable into their space. They need you. So as a consequence, we call it their Achilles heel. They must recruit. We ask people that if you're looking for a job, for example, and you scroll through the advertisement, whether it be in the traditional media or on social media, and you see something offering a job, but at the end you see you're required to have an open mind, then I ask you to rubbish that, because no professional organization will require you to come to the job, requiring you to have this open mind.
Most times, human trafficking is financially motivated, both on the trafficker's end and the victims. The trafficker very often exploits the financial vulnerability of the victim and leads them to believe that they can legitimately earn some money, offering them false hope. Sometimes, a job offer is too good to be true.
Deception is usually with the promise of something better, usually jobs especially. A lot of people are offered opportunities that they don't fully investigate before they do this. And then when they get to their destination, they find out that that's not exactly what they signed up for. Then they are forced because they have financial obligations or other family issues.
I had a friend and she went to a small island and she wanted her friend to come with her. But my friend was telling her all about the money and she's like, yeah, crazy money. And she was like, yeah, girl, you know, if you do nothing, then you just have to answer phone and thing. First lie. money no work. If someone did work, trust me, all would have reach her. After she finished getting everything together, and they went to the small island, and she only find out so she gone to a whorehouse, and she's like, no, she want to leave, but then her passport get taken away, ID get taken away. She can't leave till she have to pay back whosoever buy her the ticket. So, years and then she just get knocked out of here.
So we learned from the streets that many young, ambitious young women seem to be falling prey to these false job advertisements. We wanted to examine that theory. We wanted to see just how many young persons would be willing to respond to a vague and too good to be true ad. So we put in the Gleaner and the Star an advertisement for a young, attractive personal assistant who must be Christian-minded and open-minded. We promised her $110,000 per month. And we want to see what's gonna happen. So behind me are 2 cameras in 2 separate vehicles. And we're expecting women to be responding to this ad today. Let's see what's going to happen.
So, I'm not sure how much you know about the work I do, but I'm an international financial consultant. So I look at market profiles for various countries, and because different investors want to know which kind of industries and goods and services to invest in. So take your time. I really appreciate you coming out, but because I'm running so late, would you mind to just accompany me to one of my clients' offices now because I had a meeting with him? Really? Yeah. Is there no way at all?
No, I can go.
Yeah, okay, because I just want to make sure I keep up with him before I lose. I don't want to lose him. All right. So this is my car right here. So you can hop in on the drive on the passenger side. Hello. So sorry about the confusion, but this is actually a part of a campaign to raise awareness on human trafficking. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. This is actually where the second cameraman is.
So what happened? 4 young ladies turned up for the interview for the personal assistant position that didn't really exist. These 4 young ladies were 4 of over 20 who responded to this advertisement. And those over 20 young ladies came from parishes from across the island, particularly rural parishes: Hanover, St. Elizabeth, St. Catherine, Portland, St. Thomas, Manchester, and Kingston and St. Andrew. All of those parishes were represented in the young women who responded to this ad. Now, we noticed that of the ladies who actually came for the interview, there were some things that they did not ask. They did not inquire as to the specific details of their employment. They didn't know what exactly they were going to be doing as a personal assistant. The second thing, they weren't certain about the details of their employer. Who exactly was this Alexandra Smith? They knew nothing about the company for which she worked either. They didn't even know the working hours. Another thing was that they weren't certain of the location. None of the girls that arrived for the interview were certain as to where it was. Now this is very dangerous, and you can see just how easily it was for those young ladies to be trafficked if we really were traffickers. They did not know where they were going. The other thing was that all of them went into the car or were about to go into the car, even though they did not know the individual and were uncertain as to why they would be going to another location for an interview or just to pick up something. These are all red flags. We want to warn our young women and young men who might be reading the classifieds in the newspaper. We understand that these are very difficult economic times, but we need to be wise.
Yeah, I know, right? But I mean, that's the thing, that people who do trafficking look all kind of ways. Yeah. And you can't make any assumptions, so you have to always be careful. So it was good that you looked in the back seat.
One young lady did not even have a cell phone on her. She had no means of communication with anyone should something have happened. And she was actually dropped off by a friend and did not know this area at all. So if something had happened, how would she have gotten help?
It is when you're too eager to seize an opportunity without carefully considering all the pros and cons, without carefully doing your research as to how credible is this company that's advertising in the paper for persons to go overseas. How credible is this scheme that I'm hearing about that's going to make me rich in 10 days? How credible is this guy who says that, oh, he has a business on the North Coast and they just need some girls to work some tables? Take the time to do your research.
The trafficker will target particular persons depending on the demand that they have.
The sad reality is that many Jamaicans are vulnerable to being trafficked every day, particularly our youth, especially students.
Chrissy, we're going to work tonight, all right? So after school, I want to go straight to your mother's house. You hear me?
Yes, Daddy.
All right. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hi, Jerry.
Hey, Chrissy.
I'm going straight home.
Yeah, what's up?
Because I was thinking we could go to Tree and then...
Hey, Chrissy. Chrissy's boyfriend.
Uncle Frankie!
Alright. Just playing. Are you heading to Tree?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Alright. I could give you a lift. I could drop your friend. And then I could take you to your dad's place. I'm heading to him right after.
Oh, sorry, Uncle. Daddy didn't tell me to go straight to Mama's house tonight.
Oh, okay. He has work tonight. How about you?
Yeah, man. Sure. See you tomorrow, Chrissy.
We know that one of the popular means that traffickers use to obtain victims is by abduction. And so we decided to conduct an experiment in the heart of Papine to see who would be willing to enter an unmarked vehicle. I posed as a US student looking to make a little extra money on the side. We placed our camera right there and we parked our car in an area that is frequented by robot taxis. Let's see what happens. You going Grand Tour? Yeah. Alright then, come on. I'm in this car. Open. Watch out for the water. Hold on first. Ma'am, you just been trafficked. You just get into an unmarked taxi. Yeah, man. Can't do that. So don't watch for them face, even though they're nice and pretty like me. Okay, come outside, man, and smile to the camera. The Love March team was able to solicit 6 persons, 3 of which actually entered my car. Can we think about that young lady who, after entering my vehicle, ran out for her life into oncoming traffic? But no one noticed. No one noticed that she could have been a victim of human trafficking. How often does this happen? And what else is being done to combat this scourge in our nation, now that we know that our population is vulnerable?
Our victims of human trafficking, and in Jamaica so far we have rescued in the last 5 years 75 victims of human trafficking. We don't end our efforts by just taking statements and allowing the court process to work. Instead, we continue beyond that. So for our experience, our victims get the benefit of social support going forward. So we have not had anybody come back into the episode of human trafficking.
A study done by Ricketts and Dunn in 2007 in our very own country discovered that the most vulnerable population to be trafficked are young persons who are working class with a secondary education between the ages of 18 and 24, particularly women. However, men and boys get trafficked too.
We need to start, before they become victims, start education, start in the school, start everywhere, start social education to prevent it from happening in the first place, or to make them aware of what's possible.
You can't only be open your eye and peel your eye them because you never know what's going to happen. You never know who might just see and say, all right then, the girl there or the guy that look nice, me look like me can take them away or fool them or deceive them and make them do what they don't want to do.
We have to educate the public on these things, because if we don't, then they themselves as pending victims won't know what to look out for.
Take the time to have due diligence. It may be too late when you wake up and realize that, I should have paid attention. So my plea really is for persons to have eyes open, ears open. So if you can intercept and avoid that trafficking from even taking place, then for me that is absolutely excellent, because it means there's one more individual who is on the path to recovery, one more individual who would not have been put through the entire ordeal of what modern day slavery really is.
I'll start by saying that it is a situation, that's human trafficking, that globally is recognized as one of the most heinous crimes that has ever come into our experience. It is lucrative, as mentioned before, so it must not be taken lightly. We ask people that if we can cut the recruitment aspect of it, we can minimize this crime with a view of ending it. We also want people to speak up. It cannot be true that you're aware of a situation, but you're just not talking because it's not you.
Unless the family is informed generally on what trafficking is and what's happening in society, and they're not that minded, then it will continue to happen. So education is key to protection. I believe for Jamaica, we just need to become aware that this is real, that it's happening here, and that our children are valuable, that our children are the future. And if they're destroyed, what kind of future do we expect to have?
Human trafficking is a real issue, and it affects us as young people. And as a result, we have to protect ourselves. Young lives matter. I matter. You matter. Let's work together to end modern day slavery. Traffic blocking begins with you.
If you know or suspect that someone is a victim of human trafficking, please call 188-PROTECT for victims under the age of 18 years, or 311 for victims over 18 years. You may also call the TIP unit at 967-1389 or email tip.ocid@jcf.gov.jm.